ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Today we will continue with the last set of suktas from Sage Gridsamada in Mandala 2. First we will take up Suktam 34, which is on Maruts, Chandas, Jagati and Trushto. Dharavara Maruto 34.1. Maruts, who are carriers of water particles in the atmosphere, are valorous and ferocious, are fierce like a lion, are honored because of their power, are shining like Agni, and are by their nature tender. They melt the moving cloud and cause the water to flow down. Some virtues attributed to Maruts are listed here. One main activity, namely breaking up the cloud in the atmosphere, is mentioned specifically here. Thus, they are said to cause rain. 34.2. Dyavona Tribhish Dayanda. Just like the stars in the space, breakers of the cloud Maruts shine in the atmospheric sky. These showers of rain illumine the atmosphere like lightning. O Maruts, you wear golden ornaments on your breasts. Rudra created you among the bright speckled cloud in the atmosphere. Maruts are imagined to possess human forms. Ornaments on their breasts is to be taken as poetic fancy. These may stand for bright colored clouds in the sky. Maruts are thought of as sons of Rudra, who represents one aspect of the manifested nature, namely destruction. This may be because of the mighty power of the wind of Maruts. 34.3. Ukshande Ashwang. Like the fast-running horses in battles, or as the boats and ships cross the giant rivers or oceans, O Maruts, you please bring food to all, riding on the spotted antelope-like cloud. You appear with golden cheeks and are of same mind. Break the nerves of the wicked. Some more attributes of Maruts are described here. As wind moves the spotted clouds, Maruts are said to be riding on them. The speckled clouds look like antelopes of the sky. Winds drive the clouds and breaking them up bring rain water to earth. Water is necessary for sustaining plant and animal life on the earth. Each living form serves as food for some other living forms. Bodies of all living forms are made of food matter. Annamaya. 34.4. Priksheda Vishwa. Maruts are givers of wealth to human beings. They move on with spotted antelope-like clouds. They stand by their duty posts and stay among the clouds, which move along straight paths like horses. They bear water for the friendly farmers in the irrigated lands distributed all over the world. This may not require any further elaboration. 34.5. Indhanvabhir Thenubhi 34.5. O Maruts, having the same purpose in mind, you exist in the light. You please come here by unveiled paths, illumined by the groups of spoken words for the delight of sweet things, just like swans going to their pleasant nests. Maruts or air stay in the atmosphere which is illumined by the sun and the stars. They are being requested to come to the place of this knowledge sacrifice to hear the chant of Vedas as stated explicitly in the next track 34.6. Ano Brahmani Maruta. O Maruts, having the same purpose in mind, please come to hear our hymns, like the leaders of men coming to hear our praises. Please make the cloud full with water, like the udder of a mare, and for the sacrificer give good intelligence and wisdom. Delighted by hearing these praises, may Maruts bestow abundant water for all living creatures on the earth, and good intelligence and wisdom on the sacrificers. 34.7. Tam no dada marudo vajinam. O Maruts, you provide us a man who aspires for knowledge and a fast-moving vehicle, every day making us enlightened. You give the invoker vast wealth. In order to achieve this, please give us sharp intelligence, riches and safe, unconquerable power. Basically, the seer of the Sukta is praying for intelligence and wisdom for himself, who is the knowledge seeker mentioned here. These are essential to achieve his final objective, namely enlightenment. Maruts or Vayu are considered as Pratyaksham Brahma. 34.8. Yad yunjese, yes, yad yunjese Marudo. Maruts have their breasts decorated with golden garlands. They are givers of abundant wealth. When they harness the horses or engines to their prosperous vehicles, which are like cows carrying milk to their calves, they cause wealth and food to abound in the houses of oblations offering sacrifices. Maruts come to hear the praises of invokers, to give rich gifts to them, like cows going to their calves for giving milk to nourish them. Sentiments are similar in both cases. 34.9. Yono Marudo Urgatati. O beneficent Maruts, whichever man sturdy as a wolf holds enmity towards me, please protect me from such a harmful man and turn him off. As though by a heated discus. O sons of Rudra, please destroy the weapons of the people who hate me. Though sage Girisamada is specifically talking about an external enemy, he may be implying an enemy stationed within his own mind. 34.10. Chitram tado marudo yama. O Maruts, when you accomplish extraction of water from the udder of the clouds, all living creatures come to know about this wonderful achievement. O trusty sons of Rudra, you know the ridiculers of your admirers. Your admirer and violent aged men. You treat them in accordance with their qualities. Maruts are recognized to be responsible for bringing rain to earth. For example, southwest monsoon winds bring rainfall to most parts of India. They are said to be capable of differentiating righteous men and evildoers and treat them appropriately. 34.11. Tanvo Maho Maruta. O Maruts, you are quick moving and great. We invoke the things that are procured as per your desire for the all pervading you. We pray to the great golden colored Maruts with raised ladles for admirable wealth and for oblations offering sacrifices. Air pervades all objects in the atmosphere and is a transmitter of sound. Sierra Sukta is praising Maruts with auspicious Vedic hymns which are pleasing to hear. Admirable wealth should imply self-knowledge, since that knowledge is the most admirable wealth of all. 34.12 Te Dashakva Prathama. The scholars who control their 10 senses, 10 sense organs, first accomplish their sacrifice and then expand our glories growing at dawn. Such people uncover knowledge as dawn uncovers the dark nights. In the same way, Maruts uncover the dark clouds with their heartening, brilliant, water-producing light. By performing sacrifices, fame of knowledge sacrificers increases gradually. They uncover knowledge as dawn uncovers darkness of night. In the same way, Maruts drive away the dark water-bearing clouds to bring light and rainwater to the inhabitants of the earth. 34.13 Te Shonibhir Arunebhir. These sons of Rudra grew up in the homes of Ruta, along with the earth and the golden-colored shining Agni. With their strength and horse-like quickness, breaking the clouds, they take on a beautiful, pleasant golden color. Air manifested from Rudra, who represents the power of destruction associated with manifested nature. As nature manifests because of our ignorance of the self, it can be considered as the home of nature. Air is one of the basic forms of matter. Earth, water and Agni, or energy, are some other forms of matter. Water is produced by air in combination with earth and Agni. 34.14 Yanu Mahi Parutham. We glorify Maruts by praying through these hymns for the protection of the great, nice abode. The person who realizes the threefold manifestation of nature for achieving this purpose stays withholding the pranas in the 5 locations on the body, which goes on its journey. Some important mystic ideas are implied here. The great nice abode represents abode of the self, the base of manifestation of the universe. The threefold manifestation implies causal, subtle and gross bodies, Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha and Virat Purusha respectively. For realizing the self, a learned person may resort to pranayama, holding the breaths at 5 locations in the body: Mooladhara, Manipura, Hridaya, Bhumadhya and Sahasrara. It only means that one can realize the self through breath control, or it aids a seeker to realize the self. The last ruk in the Sukta is 34.5. Yaya Radham Parayatha. O Maruts, by whatever protective powers you take an invoker across the sense and save him from the clutches of denouncers of invokers, may those powers reach us quickly like a fast-moving horse. May your nice intelligence come to us quickly as a calf goes to its mother cow. May the power of the Maruts associate with pranayama, etc., come to the seer of the Sukta very quickly and lead him to truth. This is his final prayer. This sage Samada's final prayer to Maruts. It is to be noted that sage Samada is praying for self-knowledge to all shining beings, whoever he or she may be. If they are considered to be alive and active, their souls must have come from the same one self. Ekam Sat. Now we go to the next sukta, Suktam 35. This is a prayer sukta. Devata is Apannapat. Sage Grismada is Rishi in Trishtupcha Chanda. Ube Masrukshi Vajayur 35.1. Desirous of knowledge and food, I shall let this hymn or water to flow. Apannapat, who has sprung from or associated with water and who moves quickly, may give me this invoker plenty of delight. That power serves my purpose beautifully. Apannapat means the one who does not allow water to fall down. That means latent heat of vaporization of water. By evaporating water or making it into vapor form, water loses its flowing character. This heat cannot be felt like sensible heat, and hence it is called latent heat, or it may be the soul of energy, Agni, personified energy. From the above, it should be clear that Apannapat is Agni associated with water. He moves with water vapor carried by the clouds. In this rug, Apannapat is heat energy, and this keeps the seer of the Sukta alive and active. 35.2. Imam Swasmai Hruda. I shall recite reverentially this Vedic hymn which is well fashioned in my heart. May you understand it fully. O the best among shining beings, Apannapat, by your greatness you create all worlds. Considering Apannapat as heat energy, this ruk becomes easily explainable. This sukta itself is to deal with gross energy in general, which makes all objects in the universe active. Process of creation involves use of gross energy. So Apannapat is associated with the creation and sustenance of the universe. 35.3. Samanyayantiva. Some water streams come down nicely and some go away. The rivers unitedly remove the miseries of all living creatures. The pure water particles surround Apannapat, who is shining brilliantly in all directions. Rain waters come down to earth and get evaporated, and they leave the earth. Living creatures on the earth make use of water staying on the earth. Latent heat pervades all particles of water vapor, which are free to move in all directions. Latent heat is not felt and is not visible in the normal circumstance. It cannot be measured by a thermometer like sensible heat. 35.4. Tamasmera Yuvatayo. The water particles come to him as young girls, free from pride, approach perfectly youthful men, shining him nicely. That purifier of water, shining with bright and powerful rays without burning any fuel, gives us food and wealth. It may be more accurate to state that Apanapat in the form of sun's rays approach the waters than saying water approaches the sun rays. In vapor form, water contains no impurities like water in the ocean. Hence, Apanapat is to be considered as a purifier of water. Heat associated with Apanapat is different from a fuel-burning fire. Apanapat gives food indirectly by causing rain, water, to fall down to earth. He gives latent heat to water particles and potential energy to move them up in the atmosphere. Asmai Tisro Avyathyaya 35.5. Three self-luminous ladies who are leaders of man prepare food for this enlightened being for three types of happiness. They move about as if they were created in the atmosphere. Thus, he drinks the essence of the first appearing broth. Three ladies represent the three sources of heat energy, the sun, lightning and fire. Each one serves the human beings in different ways, which is quite obvious. With respect to earth, they move in space. Apanapat drinks water before it comes down to earth as water. 35.6. Ashwasyatra Janimasya Cha. From him only is the birth of energy or power. Energy of the whole universe is his only. Please protect the invokers from the onslaught of malicious and harmful men, envious and false pretenders, whether staying in their homes or outside. Do not annihilate that indestructible being. Heat energy in all moving forms, all living forms come from Apanapat, and so also the heat in heat engines or in all bodies of the universe. Apanapat is being requested to give the invokers sufficient energy to face their internal and external enemies. Physically, Apanapat is indestructible. None can destroy him. Swa Adame Sudubha 35.7. Apanapat possesses a good milk cow in his home, which is the atmosphere. He takes fresh water and well-cooked food. Thus, increasing his strength, he shines among the water particles for giving wealth to sacrificers. The cloud in the atmosphere is a milk cow as it carries pure water particles. Apanapat drinks only pure water and not impurities in it. Food may be referring to heat energy produced by the fire. He stays in the atmosphere as latent heat of water and providing the necessary potential energy for lifting up the water particles. 35.8. Yo apsva Shutina, that unborn one who is ever truthful, shines with pure radiance in the vast atmosphere containing water vapor. All the other manifested forms of the universe are his branches only. All plants procreate by the energy obtained from him. First part of the Ruk should be clear from earlier discussions. Energy requirements of all objects in the universe are met by Apanapat, which includes the energy requirements of non-living, non-moving plants. Apanapada 35.9. Apanapada stays in the atmosphere above the clouds that follow a tortuous path covering the lightning. He is well established among these water particles. The broad and golden colored rivers spread in all directions carrying His glory to all quarters. Apanapat covers lightning also, since it also produces heat. Water streams flow in the rivers due to the rainwater which is produced by him. 2.35.10 Hiranyarupa Hiranyasamdrik. That Apanapat has a golden colored body. He enables us to see imperishable matter. He is valuable like gold and is born from Hiranyagarbha. Seated himself thus, he gives food to a giver of gold. Most of this work is poetic fancy. Hiranyagarbha is said to be the firstborn from whom all forms of matter are born. Apanapat may be taken as energy in general or soul of energy, and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Seated in the atmosphere, Apanapat causes rain, and rainwater causes production of food for living creatures. 35.11 Tadasyani Gamuta Charu. 35.11 His charming splendor and fame are very handsome and grows inside the cloud. Young women kindle this golden-hued fire which shines superbly and which has ghee as its food. Apanapat, staying in the atmosphere, is being identified with the fire in the kitchen kindled by Hasifs, and also sacrificial fire which grows with ghee oblations. 35.12 Asmai Bahunam Avamaya. O invokers, we serve and honor that Apanapat, who is the foremost among enlightened beings and is like a friend, with salutations and with offerings in sacrifices. We clean his place and guard it. We uphold him with several nutrients and other cooked grains and praise him with Vedic hymns. Here, sacrificial fire is identified as Apanapat. Then the whole work becomes easily comprehensible. 35.13 Sa im Vrishajanayat Tasu. The virile Apanapat inseminates his wife, the water particles. The child thus born feeds on the breast milk of the mother, but others also love the child. That Apanapat is fair-formed and cheerful. He again takes birth in another form, that of his son. Apanapat supplies energy to the waters. Thus water vapor is born, which grows with water on the surface of the earth. All love the water-bearing cloud. Apanapat, appearing in the atmosphere among the clouds, is beautiful. It produces water, and from that water a new Apanapat is born. 35.14 Asmin Pade Varame. That one is established in that supreme state. He is resplendent, he is endowed with eternal attributes, and is shining all the time. Ever-flowing rivers, carrying water streams and food articles which are enjoyable by themselves, approach that Apanapat only. Apanapat, soul of energy, is established in the self as one of the basic forms of matter. He approaches the water streams and supplies them latent heat and potential energy. He gives plants energy needed for their sustenance and growth, and procreation. Last look into Sukta 35.15. Ayam samagne sukritim. O Agni, you come to the earth for the good of mankind. You come to hear the worshipful hymns of the benevolent sacrificers, the auspicious one that the enlightened beings preserve is this universe only. Venerable heroes praise you with excellent hymns in this sacrifice. Here, sage Gritsamala is identifying Apanapat with Agni, the soul of energy or personified energy. With that explanation, this rik becomes self-explanatory. Suktam 33, 34 and 35 are beautiful and sublime prayer songs from sage Gritsamala. We go to Suktam 36. It is on Indra, Maruta, Toshta, etc. in Jagadi Chanda from sage Gritsamala. 36.1. Tubhyam hinvanu vasishta. O manifested self Indra, all leaders of men developing their faculties live for you, protecting all. They fill up their speech and pranas like the sun with the cloud. You are an excellent and foremost ruler. Please drink this essence of extracted soma, which is specially prepared and offered to you with the spirit of charity. Here, Indra could be Adi Devik, but he could also be equally possible. Indra is to be taken as manifested self. Enlightened men live for identification, self-identification. Indra is the ruler of the manifested universe. All products of creation belong to manifested self because they have no existence without him. 36.2. Yajñaye Sammishra. The Maruts who are associated with sacrifices, moving with spotted antelope-like clouds and shining with weapons, like to decorate themselves with ornaments. O upholders of men, you who are leaders of men, are leaders of the space and seated in the atmosphere, please drink the essence of extracted soma from the thunderbolt. Maruts move with the speckled cloud as mentioned before. The shining weapon could be thunderbolt or sun's rays. By their presence in human bodies as pranas, Maruts protect human beings. Seated in the atmosphere, it is being imagined that they drink water from the thunderbolt. 2.36.3. Amevana Suhava. O enlightened beings, being well praised by us, please come here, which is like your home, and be seated in your appropriate seats and be pleased. O Tvashta, accompanied by a host of enlightened beings and other born souls of noble conduct, enjoy the food and other articles and feel satisfied by them. Tvashta means destroyer of enemies or miseries. This is a general invitation meant for all enlightened beings to come and hear the praises of the seer of the sutta and be satisfied with them. Next is 36.4. Avakshideva iha vipra. Wise man, invite the enlightened souls here and honor them. O sacrificer, desiring true happiness, be established in the three sources of happiness and attain the immortal state. You take the sweet honey and pure water. Be content with that part of food that is easily digested. A wise sacrificer is not a performer of a gross sacrifice generally. His aim is to attain the state of permanent happiness, the self. He would have established himself in right action, right knowledge and meditation. He takes food that is just necessary to keep his body alive, or he does not live for eating or for enjoyment of other worldly pleasures. 36.5. Eshasya te tanvo. O possessor of much wealth, Indra, there is vigor in your body and strength in your arms, along with light of knowledge. May you find satisfaction from hearing these hymns which have been prepared for you. Please drink this juice which has been brought forth for you. In this work also Indra could be manifested self. The seer of the sutta may be telling this to his Jivatma. He hopes that Jivatma in his body is hearing these hymns, which are as sweet as the juice of Soma plant. May these hymns find favor with him. This is the hope and wish of the seer. Last book in the sutta is 36.6. Yushetham yajnam bodhatam. O shining Mitra and Varuna, please accept this sacrifice or oblation. You may know well the meaning of the Vedic mantras of the ancient seers. A liberal sacrificer obtains food well covered from all sides. Please drink this sweet essence from the director of sacrifices. Here, the liberal sacrificer and director of sacrifice could be sage Grisamada himself. He is offering this ruk as oblations to Mitra and Varuna, who are presiding deities of day and night respectively. May they enjoy these mantras. This is the wish of sage Grisamada. This marks the end of chapter 7 of the second Ashtaka of Rigveda. We go to Suktam 37 from sage Grisamada on Dravinoda, Ashwinav and Agni Devadas. The Chandas is Jagadi. Mandasva Hotradanu to 37.1. O giver of wealth, please be satisfied by the food offered by virtuous men with love. O sacrificers, you desire to give full libation to the fire and offer total surrender to Agni, the soul of energy. O giver of wealth, please drink the Soma essence suitable to the season, offered by a liberal donor. In this sukta, giver of wealth may be taken as Agni or Indra. The first and last parts of the ruk is addressed to him and the middle part to the sacrificers. Meaning of the ruk is easy enough to understand. Oblations may differ from season to season, or Ritubhi may also mean in all seasons or throughout the year. The last pada is repeated in the next two riks also. 37.2. Yamu Purvamahuve Tamidam. O giver of wealth, being liberal donor, I invoke you now, as I had invoked you earlier. You are famed to be a benefactor and is worthy of invocation. This sweet juice is prepared by the lovers of sacrifices. O giver of wealth, drink this Soma essence suitable to the seasons, offered by a person who purifies all. This should be perfectly clear, and so need not be elaborated here. 37.3. Medyantu te vakhnayo, O giver of wealth, may your bearers with whom you come be satisfied with our devotion. O Lord of forest or rays of spiritual light, please do not hurt us. Be firm. O mighty giver of wealth, presiding over and approving the sacrifice, please drink this Soma essence suitable to the seasons and offered by a person who leads you to happiness. Lord of the forest or spiritual rays could be Agni or forest fire. Sage Gritsamada may be telling the forest fire not to harm the sacrificers, but could be firm with other objects in the forest. Rest of the rook is easy to understand. To 37.4. Apadhotraduta. The giver of wealth drinks the Soma essence from the wealth-giving sacrificer, gets delight from the purifier of essence, and feels satisfied with the desirable oblations from the director of sacrifice. Such a wealth-giving sacrificer may drink the spirit of that indestructible, immortal, supreme protector. The root may carry an implied meaning. Drinking Soma essence gives physical and mental pleasures. Getting delighted by the spiritual Soma essence, flowing essence of Atma, offered by the sacrificer, he or Agni becomes satisfied with the spirit of the sacrificer. Then the sacrificer becomes eligible to attain the fourth state, Turiya, the indestructible, immortal self. Some commentators of Veda seem to miss this point. Arvanjamadya Yayam 37.5. O Ashwins, please harness your quick-moving chariot now, which moves everywhere, which carry many a man which leaves you here. Please make these articles of food sweet and tasty. Then you who are expert in accelerating movement, please come here, drink the Soma essence and give us happiness. This is a simple prayer addressed to Ashwins and is self-explanatory. Ashwin's quick-moving chariot would be drops of Atmiya Soma. Last trick in this sutta and last trick for the day. Joshyakne Samidham. O spiritual Agni, be pleased with the offered fuel, with the oblations, with the articles produced, and with this auspicious hymn, desiring the welfare of all great enlightened persons who are desirous of cooperating with you all through the seasons. May you please them by giving them all the articles they desire. This is addressed to Agni, personified energy or soul of energy, who is supposed to bring all sorts of wealth. it is quite in order, since Agni supplies energy needed for all activities associated with the procurement of wealth of all kinds. Without energy, nothing can be achieved. Otherwise, the rig is simple enough to comprehend. With this, we finished the exposition for the day. Viramastavat.